Hello, everybody, and welcome to Telling Tales, here where we tell atmospheric stories together through the medium of tabletop role-playing games. It is a second Monday, which means we are playing We Deal in Lead, which Jack is running. Oh, I never get the directions right, which Jack is running. And links to all of our stuff are below the video, so our social media and YouTube, Twitch if you're watching on YouTube, etc., and our Discord, and our Patreon where you can support us if you enjoy what we do. The other things that we do on the channel, so on the other Mondays, we do Warhammer, which Sam is running. Up is easy.
That one was easy.
Yeah. And
I would have been willing to put it down then.
Yeah, I was tempted, but Wednesdays we do Simba Room, and at the moment I think that's all we've got like currently on the weeklies.
We are due to
be the Yellow King.
We're due to do the final live session of Wicked Ones this Thursday as well. All going to plan, and then it will be going to recorded, I believe.
Cool. And yeah, we do one shots on odd weekend days with different people, players, and systems and such. If you join our Discord, there is an events tab where you can easily see what's coming up that is updated when things are added and changed. I think that's everything. Does that seem like everything? I think that seems like everything.
Yeah.
Take it away, Jack.
Take it away. Well, at the end of the last session, or summarised last session, you were on a train, taken prisoner. You soon escaped using the power of violence. Violence or fumbling around. I think Alan Defoe turned himself into a human missile a few times last session, actually. Yeah, you took control of the train, retrieved your items, most importantly, your guns, and you've discovered that the train was on its way to a Camp Wallach. You decided to take the train to the end of the line and see what was there. I think that a quick summary. I mean, if you've not watched it, then what are you doing here really halfway, through the sort of campaign? But
the question we ask literally every time we do a recap, it feels like.
Yeah, but I guess it's useful for people to have even if they watched it, useful for me to remember what happened.
That is true. That's fair.
So yeah, you've been travelling on the train a few days, so you are all rested from any damage that you had, including to your strength. And after a few days, is there anything you guys would have particularly done while traveling? Yeah, you've pretty much been traveling non-stop, but if you wanted
I am, because we've still got the bear. I'm really curious about this bear, so I'm gonna be like having a look at the bear, trying to figure out what's going on with the bear, just kind of watching it. Is it a mindless murder machine? Is it completely wild? Has it been tamed? Is there food for it and what's eating? Is it like starved, or is it absolutely lethal, monstrous muscle bear that could just kill 30 people? I don't know.
Okay, yeah. From looking at the bear, I mean, at some points when you've looked through the sort of little hole in the steel door, you can see that it has almost cybernetic parts on it. Or you and me would recognise them as sort of cybernetic parts. So it looks like it's a bear that has also had bits of metal stuck in it. And it looks like it's got some sort of little radar dish.
Okay. Do I know if this means it is like controlled or allied with them, or is this just a cybernetic bear?
You've not got a way to tell, but these are pretty thick steel doors.
Yeah.
You might not necessarily need if it was under your control.
Fair point.
Is Sam, are you a slip door person, or are you from this world?
I am from this world, I believe. Yes. Just scroll down on my sheet.
So you would have potentially heard stories of the old ones messing around with things,
Okay.
wildlife and like
Gotcha,
that.
gotcha.
You know, it's
So
it's
is
unusual to see one up and about and walking. And
yeah, I get you. So it's still like wildlife. It's not like, a bear that's going to talk to you or a bear that's going to take sides, but it just might have different abilities of some form. That's kind of the
Yeah.
feeling I have.
and it's larger than the average bear as well.
Like, the average bear. Got it. I'll come back to the rest of the group and say it's larger than the average bear.
I noticed.
That thing will cause some chaos. I'm looking forward to it.
I think Defern, he makes coffee. He has coffee on him, so he's going to make coffee. Fairly, let's say at least once a day. And otherwise, talk to, try to engage Berthold and Elle in conversation as often as possible.
We'll be playing cards because I've got a pack of cards.
Yeah.
Coffee and cards.
Did we? Is there anyone else left on the train?
Yeah, you had well, there's the engineer driving it.
Yeah.
You also had Langdon.
With a crossbow.
Oh yeah.
Sort of press ganged into helping your sort of train revolution, and he's decided to stick around.
So what's Langdon's entire life story?
Well,
We've got the time for it now. Whole Langdon mini side quest story.
yeah, you guys might as well disconnect. This is now just me playing out his backstory. No, he tells you that he was a sailor before, but the seas that he was sailing and fishing on dried up, and running out of work, he turned to his thieving ways, and eventually it caught up with him, and well, now he's not got anything anywhere better to be than with you guys. So that is Langdon. I did roll him, actually, because there is rules about hirelings and generating them or their stats.
Oh, nice. Do I have a hireling in Langdon with a crossbow?
His traits. So see how you guys rolled on the sort of tables to determine what you look like and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it did make me laugh. He's got a bony face,
Mm-hmm.
a sunken
Nice.
eye, so he looks pretty grim.
Right.
But then to go with that, he's got a nice squeaky voice.
Excellent. Excellent. I like him a lot.
Oh, amazing.
But yeah, he's...
I will probably get to one side at some point and just be like, Langdon, I'm going to level with you. Whatever's at the other end of this, there's a good chance it'll kill us all. Just want you to know.
as well. I figured that when you first sort of convinced me, or got me to help you start attacking the guards on the train. And I think anything in those woods we were going through was probably going to kill me anyway.
Yeah, I don't rate chances for those who got off, I must admit.
Yeah. And you guys are, got pretty big guns. So
We do. I'll just pat my gun.
yeah. I'd rather be with the guys with the guns shooting out than against the guys with the guns shooting at me. So as long as no one else has got guns, we'll be fine.
I'll turn around to the others and go, hear that? Vote of confidence from this one. And then slap them on the back and go, don't say I didn't warn you.
I guess we've got the time, so I would route around everything on the train in case there is anything else interesting or of use or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you really find anything more than what you did last time. The provisions are fairly uninteresting. There's in there provisions, rations and food and stuff like that. Saying it's sort of the mundane weaponry that you might find on the table if there's anything out there that interests you.
Was there a note or something at the end of last session that we found? I feel like I'm remembering that entirely wrong.
I can't recall there being a note.
Oh, I must have just remembered something from another roleplay. Never mind. The train driver's still up front, though, right?
Yeah, the train driver's still up front. He's like I said, he has no strong allegiance to anyone really, or the allegiance is to the one that's not going to kill him.
So he's been to this station before that we're heading to.
He has, yeah.
So I will effectively be not directly threatening, but certainly not in a friendly, happy way, trying to get as much information as I can out of him about the station we're heading to.
Yeah, he says, "Well, I've never been inside, but I mean, just on the outside, there's a fairly typical looking train station, one sort of platform. I pull the train up. Some guys, come out, unload the prisoners and anything from the train, and then they go behind the walls, which, fairly large and fairly opaque. So,
yeah, great. What else is around? In an encampment behind a wall, just other buildings.
There's not a lot. There's more woodland than trees. They keep the trees sort of cut back a pretty fair distance from the wall. I can see the guys on top of it. More of those weird beast folk, some regular sort of humans like you and me. Some metal men as well. I've seen up there.
All part of the same group, or just in the same place?
They look they're on patrol.
Gotcha.
Sort of walking up and down. So,
Aligned.
they're
And all of this, the station is behind the wall, as if the station outside the wall.
Just outside, yeah. You'd think they'd build a gate into it, but guess they're not that bothered.
I see. That makes I'll probably either the others are here or at some point momentarily when I get to you. That makes things more challenging. Ideally, I'd hope we would be inside somewhere. Already the belly of the beast, as it were, with our friendly beast to cause further chaos. As it is, we release the monster, we jump out of the train, they run inside their little fort. What do we do then?
Well, you're out here with a big dangerous bear.
Yeah, not great.
And I'm out here with a big dangerous bear if you do that, so I'd rather you didn't.
I'm wondering if a better bet might be to park up a mile or two away, pull the train to a stop and scope out ourselves.
They'll see a train coming.
They'll hear a train coming.
I suppose we could stop further than that.
He says if you want to stop without them hearing, getting pretty close to that point. Now's the time to decide.
I really wanted to use that bear for something.
We still
Maybe
might be
we
able
should
to.
just let the bear go.
And eat our throats. No thanks. Something else needs to be there for the bear to eat first.
Yeah. My vote would be stopping now.
Does the line stop at the camp or does it keep going on?
End of the line at the camp.
In that case, I'm with you, Bertold. Maybe we can stop, have a look, come back, go. if we decide that's what's best.
At least then we can actually formulate a plan rather than arriving and trying to do something on the fly.
Agreed. The woodland should give us cover.
He says, "Do you want me to stop the train now?" Then he says, "I'll get as I can get as close as I can without thinking they're going to hear you." But yeah,
Defern, do you agree?
I think so.
Langdon, you stay here. Make sure this one doesn't move.
he sort of
You'll be right. You
He
shouldn't
don't quite point
need
the
to.
crossbow, but he does some metallic noises with it.
Yeah.
I says, "Yeah, you can count on me." The train engineer, he shortly comes to a stop, and he says, "Well, yeah, I think this is probably about as close as I can get you without it, being audible to the people in the camp. Obviously follow the tracks, and it's probably about half a day walk from here."
Okay. Let's get going.
This is when people in chat tell me how ignorant I am for how fast trains travel and whether that.
Sounds about right, I'd say. Reasonable steam train speed, half a day's walk. You'd see a steam train
You've got to be
several
far
miles.
away.
Yeah.
It's because we can go over hills and trains can't, right? So we can, the train has to take a circuitous route, whereas we can just go straight over that ridge to the camp.
We're not following the tracks at all. We're going.
You can get 90 degrees from them.
Yeah.
Langdon does say, "Well, how long do you want me to wait for you?"
What time of day is it, Jack?
Let's say it's morning.
Okay. Tomorrow
Did
evening.
you say half a day to get there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just say tomorrow evening. If the sun sets, we're dead.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take an opportunity then, while you're walking, to roll on one of these encounter tables that Colin has so meticulously created. It'd be a shame not to use them. No. There
An
we go.
encounter in the wilderness? What are the chances?
Interesting. Interesting.
I never like when the GM says interesting.
So, you were trekking. Are you following the track, or are you going off the beaten path a little bit?
I would probably be within sight of the track, but not on it, just in case someone else is on the track.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, you're going to be more visible if you're walking along it, whereas if you stick to the tree line.
Mm-hmm. If the others are all right with that.
Yeah.
From the side of you, which is more into the trees, well, that's right or left, depending on which side you are walking, you start to hear a scattering of wildlife as rustling, loads of animals making a noise, rustling through the branches as if they're fleeing something, and it sounds like something large is getting closer.
Yeah, draw a gun. I might do that as well, and then try and get down, hide in a bush with gun out.
Let me just...
I think we could all duck down.
Yeah. So you basically pointing your guns, getting in a sort of defensive position towards this noise.
Yeah, kind of hiding as well, ambushing.
I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far as drawing my gun, but but definitely ducking down. That's where I'm at.
Definitely.
Well, you've got a
draw
revolver, haven't you? So you can do the
Exactly.
cool sort of
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just, you know,
ready. That's
I love-
cool. Drawing.
I love
like
it.
not like. Go on, Sam.
Defern doesn't draw the gun just so that Defern gets the opportunity to draw the quick draw.
Look.
Yeah.
If I'm a gunslinger, I can draw my gun faster than most things. I don't need to be like, we're keeping cool.
Ignoring the fact
in
you
the
have all
situation.
the time you need to draw the gun, you still have to draw the gun last minute.
Well, not last minute, but you never know what it might be. What if a terrified child emerges out of those woods and all the first thing they see is guns pointed at them? Not that we're having this. We might have this conversation very low to even Defern's whispered tones.
This is you and me having an
especially
angry
low.
whispered conversation, isn't it?
I'm not sure quick drawing a rifle is the best idea, so I'm going to be prepped. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't quite know how that would work.
On my back in a very loose-fitting quiver, maybe.
I feel like we're the sort of people who might carry like hanging by harnesses on our front, so they're really easy to grab. That's your number one priority, isn't it?
Yeah, it's up to you. I mean, or you just casually on your shoulder at all times, but your arms might get tired.
I think mine's on my hip. A repeater's not that big. It's like this sort of size, isn't it? They're not full length rifles, so sort of
Like carbine size.
Oh, a bit bigger then. Yeah.
I'm trying to just think about Red Dead Redemption, how big they are in that.
Still could go on a hip. Not too big for a hip, I think.
So yeah, you are looking towards the source of this trampling, scattering noise, and you basically see not a flood, but a whole bunch of small animals and critters burst out of the woodland, followed by a massive, imposing deer with 8 spidery legs and big old sprawling antlers that sees you and is going to charge.
Now draw my gun.
It's too late.
You are dead. You didn't draw your gun.
You spent too long debating about how to holster your weapons.
You know what I like to imagine, actually? It's not that it spotted us because we were visible. It spotted us because we were having an argument about weapon holstering.
So, I mean, seeing as you guys were prepped in aiming, if you want to all have your thing first, you can.
Yes.
Oh, I'm tempted to use my cry card ability immediately just because it feels like killing this quickly will be useful. Blast damage to 3 targets. I don't actually have the detail of that. I need to open the book to see if it's 3 different targets or if I can do it all to the same target.
There is a thing about
Isn't it like a scatter thing? I think it's maybe 3 different
maybe,
targets.
Yeah, maybe, never mind. I might not use it then.
Blast affects all targets in the noted area, rolling separately for each.
Sounds kind of like a different target.
Leaving onslaughts to a meteorite impact. What is it? Your right?
Rapidly fire 3 shots, blast damage to 3 targets in brackets. Is what I've written down, but it's called Cry Pardon. Sorry.
Okay, I guess it's like a affects all targets. I suppose it's a way of just saying you can shoot 3 targets in one turn.
One shot, yeah. I'm just trying to get if it means specifically different targets or not.
Yeah, I think it's 3 different.
Okay, that makes sense. It's already super powerful, so I'm fine with that. I will just do a normal shot.
Yeah, so 2d6 on the shoot table.
Excellent. 2d6. Why did I only get 1d6 out? That wasn't sensible.
I have also got 1d6.
Oh. I'll just get a flavor of all the dice. I just got 1 of each dice. Dice bag. Okay, I'll roll my 2d6. That is an 8.
8 on the shoot table, which I probably should have got up. A think 8 is a hit of some sort, isn't it?
It's a graze for D4 damage.
Graze. Thank you.
D4.
There we go.
2.
Cool. Either Alan or Bertold, whoever wants to.
I think Bertold has his rifle out first.
I'm doing a face like it's a bad thing, but actually the numbers are the other way around. I got a 3, so it's max damage.
Max damage. Guy.
And I have Dire Strike, which I'm pretty sure means I roll an extra D6 damage. I think that's right.
Some
That
weapons are only
sounds familiar.
to trigger when rolling max damage. That's all it says in that bit.
Dire Strike, D6 strength damage. Is that
Right.
right? Under rifle.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. An extra D6 on it.
I was sure that I read like
there's 10 on a D10 or 12 on 2D6. Special abilities to trigger when rolling max damage. Oh, when rolling max damage. So if you roll max damage, you get a special ability. That's what it means. So if you so you have a D10 to roll and you roll 10 on your damage, you'll get a cool thing happen, which I don't know what it means. I don't know what the cool thing is.
I've rolled max damage by rolling.
Oh,
2 to
yeah.
3.
Oh, so yeah, if you roll, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'd say if you.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You think?
And then
the warden can also decide the effect, but does it have an effect written for the gun?
Yeah,
D6 strength damage.
Yeah, I'd say go for it because you rolled max damage.
Yeah,
okay, you didn't roll a hit and then the max damage, but
like the effect is called max damage, so I think that.
I guess that's how it works. Yeah, balance. So
it's a 6.
Oh, so much damage. Oh my
god. So that's, I guess, 10 normal damage plus 6 straight on the strength.
Oh,
Jesus.
That's
this is a wild animal staring down the barrel of a rifle.
So. Yeah, this is okay. I thought my repeater thing was so overpowered, but now I've seen you do that.
I will spend 1 lead.
Is it dead yet?
I want to
not yet. I mean, I can only. Well, it's not dead from Johnny's damage, but it could be. Do you want to see what you do? Because you only do the max out of everyone that hits it per round.
If it's not dead yet, then I miss.
Okay.
Nice as a choice. It sounds like a choice. If it's dead, though. If it's dead,
I don't need to fire. but yeah.
Where's that critical injury thing? Come on. Critical damage. There we go. Okay, so it's still going, but it is. Yeah, you've took a good chunk of meat out of it. And I think you probably hit it on the head, and one of the antlers is like you've hit sort of there, the antlers there, and one of the antlers is half hanging off as it charges towards you now.
How much is it regressing its decision, Jack?
There is a slight look of regret in its eyes. Also now an animalistic rage that the person has just shot its face off nearly. But it does D6 plus D6 blast. So I'm guessing that's 2D6s or 1D6 on 2 of you. So we'll go for the 2 people that actually shot it rather than the one that missed. So that's a 3 on L and a 1 on Bertold.
Ooh, 9.
Thanks to my new fancy leather jacket.
Oh.
Still so jealous of the leather jacket. I suppose I got Langdon. You got a leather jacket.
when when I was picturing the scene in my head of me taking the shot at this thing and taking the bit of antler off, I hadn't included the leather jacket, so I've now updated the image in my mind, and it's much cooler.
Well, it's a leather jacket, so it is automatically everything is cooler.
Shall I take a shot again then?
If you want.
I do want.
What is it behaving any differently? Is it is it reacting to us the situation?
It's so obviously it's charged at you, done, you know, all the three of you try to sort of spear you with its antlers, and it is going to come right round for another charge.
Can I try and stab it when it passes by with my saber instead? Actually, that makes more, or kind of slash at it, I suppose, into the saber while it's passing by. That makes more sense, I suppose.
Yeah.
That will be my attack then. Saber is a d8 damage, and I roll a 1.
Well, as long as either of these guys actually hit it with their guns, they'll probably beat that.
Probably. I was like, my new posh saber, the much better melee weapon. Look.
Oh.
My plan is the sort of like, I'm assuming it's kind of come between us now, right?
Yeah, I guess it would have sort of scattered you slightly as you dove out of the way to avoid the worst of it.
So the sort of like spin and then track round and pop another shot off at its sort of hind flanks, I suppose.
Classic shooting up the arse.
That is not as good as last time, but I think it's still. Oh, I was just on the page. There we go. A 7, a graze, d4 damage, and the number is 3.
3. Cool. And a fern.
Well, I think it's a graze, which is d4, right? So graze is 1, d4 damage. 1 damage.
Oh, nice.
Nice indeed. Just a nice amount of damage. If I'd hit it with a club, probably would have done better.
So
that's a lot of lead.
That is a
I don't know if we'll be able to take out the entire gang.
So with that, the shot into its hind, as it sort of runs away, ready to swirl around, is what's needed. Between that and the shot in the face that you did, as it sort of with a whimper, collapses, and you've just beat this wildlife encounter.
Well, it certainly feels like it's had the crap kicked out of it with this rifle shots.
Yeah, that max damage really well.
That was
did what it said on the tin, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
The fact I got a 6 on that as well. Like you just hit 16 straight away. That's pretty.
Yeah, and 6 of it ignoring any defense as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just quickly head back to the track and just look along it, just to double check we're not, because we probably weren't thinking about it at that moment. We weren't close enough to the camp, obviously, that they might have heard gunshots. I'll just look at the fields and go. The sound of those will have carried a long way.
You have no way of knowing for sure, but you're only traveling, for a couple of hours, so
hopefully not. There's certainly no sign of smoke or anything on the horizon.
Yeah, you can't hear the sound of a raiding party coming after you.
It's. I mean, there's no town, smoke from a town or something.
Oh yeah, no, you can't see any signs of civilization or anything.
Okay, I'll come out of the
Also, like, there's probably sounds of gunshots occasionally out here, right?
True.
Like, you know, they probably don't think somebody's coming to get us if there's a gunfight in the
Yeah.
wood necessarily.
Actually, I think Elle's being paranoid, so Bertol can catch me on that. I'll walk back, looking around, saying someone has hear the gunshots.
I don't know. They might have done.
I think it's probably fine.
Yeah, you're probably right. Walk over to the deer monster and give it a kick.
It moves slightly when you kick it, but only because you kicked it.
Have a look at it. Is there anything to remark on about it? I mean, other than it's a
I mean, it's got 8 legs and massive horns, one of which is half hanging off now. That's pretty remarkable.
Mhm.
It's not necessarily something you've seen before, but there's lots of things you haven't seen before.
Does it look like it's good eating?
There's worse eating out there. You've probably eaten worse. If you want to, strip it for parts, go for it.
We might need a meal later.
Not feeling too hungry looking at the thing.
At least it's fresh.
Go on then, you first.
I'll machete it up.
While Defern's doing that, the antlers of any interest? They said they're quite big and impressive.
They are quite big and impressive. I mean, when I say, sort of, I mean, the picture here, these antlers are probably at least sort of 4 or 5 feet long. They're pretty big. So you could probably take them and you'd probably get a decent, bit of what, lead for them or whatever. But
it feels like where we're going, that's not very helpful.
Especially if you're having to drag them,
I think what I'll do is I'll get the antlers like neatly broken off at the skull and then lay them both next to the track. So if we're coming back this way later, we can pick them up if we want to.
Yeah,
good idea.
You guys can just do that. I'm not going to make you do a butchery roll or something. That'd be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's 3 stats in this game, or 4 stats: defense, strength, dex, and
Butchery.
or part even.
I mean, butchery could be the fighting stat, couldn't it? To be fair, I could see that being a thing.
That's true. Yeah, there is probably a game where that is
Mm-hmm.
a kind of fighting stat, butchery and finesse or something.
It was quite Borg-esque to me. That does.
This is no longer We Deal in Lead. We're designing a new game. So, are you then carrying on further down the track, sort of same as you was before?
Yep. Same
Yeah, I
as
think
it
so.
ever was.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of walking along the tree line, following the train track. You hear the normal sounds of wildlife, nothing like you were hearing when that thing was about to attack. And in the distance, you do start to see some high metal walls in the distance. Too far to see if there's anyone on top of them at the minute, but you also see at the bottom or the foot of the walls, the end of the line of the train track, and sort of on the left side of the track is a sort of hut. And it looks like there's 3 people standing at the train station.
Is this okay? This is like a hut connected to the tracks.
Yeah, hut with the platform,
We'll
It's a
just
low
keep-
wooden building.
I guess unless anyone else, wants to. Do you want to stop, or would you like to get as close as we can without risking being seen?
I don't particularly want to talk to them. If they're waiting for the train, then
They've been waiting a while already.
I'm not sure we want to talk to them.
Yeah.
Not with those walls overlooking. I think we made the right choice not coming on the train. Would have been a death trap, that. Even with a psycho bear.
But we we have the option for something. Do we know the name of the driver, the engineer? I can't remember if we do. You don't have to give us one, but
I don't
anyway,
think we asked his
him.
name. No.
That's fine.
In all your days, you never asked him. So
Mm.
And he's seething about it. It's full of
Yeah.
resentment.
he's just
that-
there bitching about it to Langdon now. Like, never even fucking asked my name, you know. I've been 3 days straight.
And then
Terrible.
Langdon goes, "Oh well, mine's Langdon," and also doesn't ask him his name. Yeah, we could organize for the driver to drive in and sort of act as a distraction. I don't know what we're going to do with that distraction, but now that we know that this, if they're waiting for this, they'll probably have people stationed. Ongoing.
I don't mind being on the train if you two want to sneak in from this side.
Can we see a gate or any way in, Jack?
Yeah, you can see sort of a gate, large enough for, say, a wagon to pass through.
Is it how far from the train station is it?
It's not too far.
Just the one entrance.
If you needed to, it's that sort of distance.
Yeah, just the one entrance from here.
Just the one that you could see, yeah, from here.
Okay. I'd be half tempted to. I'll say this through. I reckon if we're using the train as a distraction, maybe we approach from another direction if there's another entrance far side, if that's an option.
Yeah, we should scope out.
Let's walk round. It'll take a bit longer, but
Yeah, is that what you guys want to do? Sort of follow the tree line round.
Yeah, still playing it safe, I think. Given this place seems pretty well fortified. Also, just kind of gauge on the scale of the place.
What about
numbers.
you two? What about you two each head around, and I'll wait here and keep a watch on everything. And you can meet on the other side and see if there's anything to cover the whole distance in half the time.
Yeah, still got to come back same time.
That's true.
I say we stay together if we go, but you can stay here if you want to, Fern.
There is some benefit to splitting up in that if one part of the group is captured, there is still somebody. But then also, if it comes down to a firefight, there's less numbers.
I'd rather be together than apart. Let's not get spotted.
Can we see into the camp from here, or just see the walls? Is there anywhere we can?
At the moment.
Is there anywhere where we can see into it?
No, the camp looks like it's on the sort of. There's no sort of vantage point.
Fancy climbing a tree to Fern?
I could climb a tree.
You can climb a tree if you want.
What is your dex?
4.
You can't climb a tree to save your life.
I could climb a tree if I needed to.
I mean, climbing a tree? What do you need more of, dexterity or strength? Would you say?
I would definitely say dexterity. But
I agree.
I would say to let him roll on either, but have the negative effects differ depending on which one doesn't.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Okay.
quite GM-y.
Used for saves requiring climbing is under dex, so we'll go with dex.
I'll put my hand onto Fern and then see if I can find a good tree nearby that
I could
looks
climb a tree. I could
like
climb a tree if you wanted me to climb a tree.
like it would get vantage point on the inside. But also I wouldn't be too visible, like not the front tree, if you see what I mean, to the clearing.
Yeah.
I'll roll my dex then, shall I?
Yeah. Is anyone helping, like, but giving her a boost up, or?
No.
Does she want to boost up?
I haven't asked.
I'd gauge. I'd look if there was a sort of look back to see if anybody was going to offer. But
if it's like a tree I can't get the branches off, I guess I'd ask for one. But assuming I can do it by myself, I'll just do it.
Okay, yeah. What did
I
you
roll a 9, so that's a success.
Success. Okay, yeah. You managed to clamber up this tree. Some good foot and handholds on it, and yeah, up on the tree you can start to see over the walls. In the camp, obviously you can see some people patrolling on top. You can't really make out details of what those people are like. either human or animal head or beyond. But looking in the camp, you see what looks like a series of sort of buildings on either side of a main street running through. They're all wooden and low, and then at the far end is a building, the only building which is up on sort of, there's a ground floor and a first floor, but the rest are all, sort of single story.
Okay.
Wooden
Nothing
buildings.
obvious going on, like no industry or anything. It's just a group of buildings, like normal
Group of buildings.
residential style, whatever.
You see people milling around in there. You don't see anyone anyone getting like whipped or anything like that. It's or breaking rocks or anything like that. It actually, it looks like a town, but for the fact that it's surrounded by large metal walls with guards on top.
Okay. And I guess a really rough gauge on numbers. Are we talking like a few tens or hundreds of guards?
In the tens.
Okay. Can I see if they're armed with crossbows, guns, or do I not have it?
It's too far.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. One other thing while I'm up here, and I could always roll for it, I guess, but can I see if there's another gate from here?
You can see, you can see another gate on the sort of far side.
That's good to know. Okay. I will climb back down and relay that information. There's a gate on the far side. Assuming I've told you the other stuff. That saves us some time.
So we can have a plan for the train to come in. And there's an easy signal there.
Yep. Train's here. We'll know it's here.
Whistle blows when they come in. If there's to be any doubt, that's the trigger for whatever we want to do. We even just let the bear out?
I think that's a very good distraction.
Even though it's outside the walls, I think that it's going to cause some ruckus.
I don't think a creature like that's just planning on running off into the forest, is it?
We'd have to see, but it'll certainly give us more distraction than anything else that we've easily got access to.
Defern, did you say you wanted to go back?
I could go back. I bet I could ride that. I bet he could show me how to shovel coal into that engine, and I could take it in myself. I could let the bear out, and then I can meet you somewhere in the middle.
Well, you got Langdon as well. I'd keep that train driver on hand.
I think we would put Langdon and the train driver with you, because they don't want to be near the bear when it gets out.
I think we stay here. You go back.
What about Langdon? I can't look after Langdon and the driver when the bear's loose.
Look, if they stay in another carriage, bear's out like a train. It's fine.
Okay.
At least for a bit. They could always run far side of the train if they wanted to. Train driver's being our hostage. You can just hands up, and Langdon will be with you.
Well, and what's stopping the train driver taking the train back down the tracks while we're
once we're off it, who cares?
Well, we can walk back to civilization, or
oh come on, this place has to run wagons, something.
I think it owns train lines and train carts.
Fine, shoot the train driver then.
I'm gonna shoot the train driver. I like the train driver.
Berthold actually does a little sort of chuckle under his breath as El says that, I think.
Well, fine. I'll make sure the train driver's clear on the subject. I guess I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yeah, sounds good.
Bright and early.
We'll wait for that whistle.
So
don't get eaten on the way back.
So what's the plan? Berthold and El heading back to the train, or you guys are staying
we're staying. I mean, Berthold, are you happy with this plan?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think us two stay. Defern heading back.
Oh, that's fine. So Fern's going to head back, and you can hear him humming the opening bars of the Folsom Prison Blues under his breath. You can hear that train a-coming. It's coming round the bend. Anyway. I've left you the pile of deer meat.
Not that we're going to be cooking it tonight. Just have a nice fire, nice open fire.
Yeah, you get back to the train without any more incidents. And Langdon sees you walking on your own, and he goes, "Where are the other two? What happened?"
They're up the hill.
Okay.
We will meet them tomorrow morning.
Okay. Well,
In the morning,
are we
we'll take
taking
the train in, and while the mine is distracted, Berthold and Elle will take them unawares.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a plan. What do you want me to do?
I want you to rest, maybe play some cards, and think about
I took my
where
cards
the
with me.
safest place would be for you to not be eaten by the bear when we let that out. You and the train driver.
Probably quite a few miles away from here or from there.
Surely somewhere in one of the carriages there's somewhere that's safe enough.
Well, I think as long as we're not the first thing it sees when it gets out, and there's someone else there for it to try and eat, we'll hopefully be okay. So yeah, we'll take one of the prisoner carriages at the back, I guess, and yeah,
Didn't
we'll
we
go
detach all of those?
Did you detach those? I can't remember which ones you kept attached now. I mean, all they'll go in the carriage you've been. We'll go.
I think we reattached because we came back.
That's true. We did
I
reattach.
think we picked up the whole train again.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, that's the plan. This evening, we're just relaxing, sharing stories, doing the thing.
Yeah. Langdon does say, "Why didn't you all just come back?" And then the other two just jump off the train as we got closer.
We wanted to scout the place out overnight and see what else we could learn, of course.
You're not here.
There was an entrance at the back of the camp that might be easier to get to slowly now than tomorrow when we're trying to work quickly.
That makes sense. That's why you guys are the gunslingers and I'm the thief with the crossbow.
You're doing a great job with it.
I mean, I did kill a guy. I can say last session in character. That's not a thing.
I kind of punch me in the arm and go, "That's the spirit."
The armory got shot.
Oh yeah.
I must say that you've been shooting. You were shooting better yesterday than I was shooting today.
Well, we all have those days. As long as we're all on our game tomorrow, we'll be fine.
We'll find out. No point worrying about it.
And I think with that, you chat the night away playing cards. Oh no, there's no cards. Ifel took her cards.
You can always find something to do.
Yeah. And yeah, it gets to morning. So what are you guys doing at night? Are you scouting around the other side?
Yeah, I think that's all
Yeah.
we agreed to head over there cautiously.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping an eye on the place, seeing if there's any activity, if the gate opens at all on this side.
You don't
And
see
if there's any... Yeah, sorry, go on, Jack.
So you don't see the gate opening on the sort of train station side. As you sort of go round the sort of back of the sort of camp, you do see an area which is outside the walls yet still fenced off, with some crops growing in it. Various food crops and what looks like could even be tobacco. And you know, while it's still daylight out, you see people working in the fields. And sort of regardless of where you camp out, you do see at night that some lights, electric lights, are on in the camp.
Are there any lights outside in the field area?
There are some, but not. People aren't really working out there at night, so it's more just a low-level lighting.
Okay, I will say to Bertolt, this could be good. More chance to get close to the gate without being seen. Although I don't know if we want to do that tonight. Don't know when the train will arrive exactly, and if they come out to work the fields tomorrow, that could be awkward.
Yeah.
You don't see a gate sort of between the fence and the outside world. The gate on the back is between the walls and then into this fenced-off area, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the fenced-off area we can get in without any trouble, I assume.
You could probably climb them, yeah. It's
okay, so it is a barrier, not just like a little fence.
It's a barrier, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although, we will hear the train coming a little while away, so if we're away but prepared to go in, then if it's dark, we can do that to save time.
Yeah, that sounds good. Wait for the train
then. Yeah, I was going to say as well, just keeping an eye out if there's any sort of, if there is activity, if there's any sort of routine to anything. Again, that routine will probably be broken by what ends up happening, but just, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you see sort of guards change and, you know, as shifts swap over, you see people greet each other and stuff like that, but you're not there. It's not like you're observing long enough to know, oh, this is the time they change every day, or they're, you know, you're only there for one sort of evening and night, aren't you? So you don't necessarily know what time they'll change in the morning. Cool. So I'm guessing you sleep under the stars that night or the tree canopy. And it is the next morning.
What
So the
time is
engineers-
sunrise?
Let me roll for that. 6:30.
Then, and how long does he think it will take us to get in to the?
Couple of hours.
Then I reckon around 4:30 we will set off a chugging.
To get there for sunrise.
Get there for around about sunrise, maybe just a bit before. And once we're about, I don't know, but once we're very close, you know, within a quarter of an hour or so, maybe even less, I'll start the whistle blowing constantly.
Yeah. And he says, you just want me to drive in as I normally would and pull up to the station, right?
Yes. Then I want you to get to the back carriage. I'm going to be releasing a bear.
The big half metal one that's...
Yes.
Right.
So you'll want to stay in the carriage.
Yeah, I don't want to be anything near that thing. That will... It's your funeral.
I'm sure it will be fine. We are here for a reason, and we may need to leave quickly. Langdon knows to shoot you if you try to leave early.
He looks
His
over at
job-
Langdon at that, and Langdon probably gives a little.
I don't know if I even bother telling Langdon this, but I'm telling the driver this.
Langdon probably just saw you both look at him, and he just sort of.
Yeah. But I don't wish you any ill. I just hope that you won't do anything foolish.
Says this is the sort of lot in life for people that either don't have big guns or lots of power. Do work. Do what I'm told, so I don't get shot, put in a camp.
It's not easy. It's not an easy lot. Trust me. I see how hard it is for people. But this is the way it has to be today. And if you're lucky, you might do some good in the world.
As well, yeah, you too. As he sort of carries on driving the train in.
Choo choo!
What are you two guys doing, or what is Ellen Berthold doing as they hear the trainer come in and whistling?
What's going on in the camp?
Yeah.
There's a few people sort of gathering at the platform. The train, it was expected. It's probably obviously a day or two late now, or at least maybe a day late. Actually, thinking about it, you guys withheld it a bit, and there's some activity. Obviously, the gate is now opened. The front gate, the rear gate is probably open as well for people to go out and work in the fields with the sunrise. And there's sort of a few people gathering on the train platform, looking like they're ready to unload with a wagon. But yeah, it's not like there's a hub of activity. Like, oh my god, it doesn't look like it's people alert anymore. They're just ready to work.
So no sign that anybody thinks that something is off with the late train.
No.
I imagine it's not that reliable in terms of arrival time or anything anyway, right?
No, things are breaking down all the time, and a tree could have fell over the track that could have delayed it. It's But yeah, it's hardly too notable.
But yeah, people have come out of the back now, have they?
Yes, people come out the back. They're sort of starting work in the fields.
Any guards there watching over them? Did you say?
There's a handful of guards, maybe 4 or 5, keeping an eye on the workers. They're not necessarily looking too alert. It's a climbable but decently high fence, and they know that there's people on the wall behind them as well, potentially looking, and if anyone was stupid enough to try and escape.
Obviously, Sam/L will have an opinion on this, but my idea is that we wait until there's more commotion before we do anything.
And the hope is some of the guards will run round.
Or at least be distracted. And if there's a small amount, we could either try and take them out from a distance or head in, and at least there's less shots raining down on us then, if or
at least when you're shooting, you hope that no one's paying too much attention from the direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Shots as well.
Yeah, especially if the hubbub has come from like a 180-degree angle from us. If somebody then drops off the wall, they don't necessarily think this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, while Sam is currently not connected, we'll do we'll talk about the train coming into the station. That makes sense.
Yep.
So yeah,
It's
the
rolling
engineer.
round the bend.
He starts to pull the train up, slows as it approaches, gets it ready to stop, and as it slows down, he sort of jumps out the right-hand side with Langdon, and they start making their way to the prisoner carriage.
Dashing to the carriage. Well, I will be slowly walking down. Well, not slowly, but I'll be walking down the carriages towards where the bear is. I mean, I'm hoping, to be honest, that a few of them come out and check on the train and see what's going on, because I don't want to just fling the door open and there's a bear when they're not around the train. I want them to be around the train when the commotion starts happening. So
yeah, I think people are. Yeah, they see the train coming in and sort of slow into a stop at the sort of the buffer thing at the end.
And I'm hoping that there's like a period of quiet where they don't really know what's going on. Maybe someone comes to investigate, and then bear. That's the plan. That's the plan. I don't know if it's a good plan. It's just a plan.
No, that sounds like a good plan. Yeah, the people are probably expecting the engineer to be in the driver's seat, and as he's scarpered off, they're looking around. And I think the bear carriage was next to the storage carriage anyway, so they would naturally be heading towards.
So I imagine that the bear carriage has like one of those sliding doors that you can open up to get things on and off it. Otherwise, I don't know how it got into the carriage.
That's
my view. Yeah, you might have to. So I'll slide that door open, and then I'm gonna my plan is then to shoot the lock off the bear's door.
Yeah.
And then maybe make my way to the roof of the carriage. Or something like that. Or, yeah, I think that might be the safest place to be. Underneath the carriage, I think it's going to be dangerous. But maybe not. Maybe it's the best place to be.
Well, I think as you sort of obviously, you're on the outside of the train to open this.
No, can I not open this thing from the inside?
Okay, yeah, you're on the inside, so you open it. Yeah, I get what you mean, yeah.
And then kind of if I'm not sure how this door is locked, but that whatever it is, that's going to get shot out.
Yeah,
that's my plan. Happy to spend some bullets to do that, and then maybe kind of go out, not through that. I want this door to hang open, questioningly, before the bear erupts. I'm not the thing that's going to erupt out of this thing, so I'm going to go out a side door or back door or whatever to get out to the top of the train carriage.
Yeah, well, yeah. If there's the doors on either side of the sort of carriages, you could then duck out one of them and
not the side that like the bear's door opens on. I'm not gonna run in front of that thing. That's my plan. I don't know how I'll execute it, but that's my plan.
Okay. Well, I think you can just sort of slide the door open. As you do, you see someone that was about to open it on the other side, like, huh? That, and then you shoot in the lockout.
Yeah, I'm going to say delivery, and then I'm going to shoot the lockouts, and then I'm going to make my way out.
I'm not making a roll on the shoot table for shooting at a stationary inanimate object.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be gunslinger. Do that.
I can't think of any good lines. Did anyone order honey?
I like delivery. I know it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think special delivery.
It was well delivered.
Nope. That's what I'm doing. That's the whole thing. I mean, hopefully I'm able to make it to the roof on time.
Let's do a dex roll then to see whether you.
Great. That's 2d6, right?
No, d20.
D20, even better. I fail.
You failed. Okay. It might not all be lost though. It just means.
Yeah.
And the bear swallows you whole. No, I think you just don't get necessarily onto the roof into a vantage point straight away. But yeah, this guy obviously looks shocked when the door opens before he has a chance, sees you shoot the lock, starts to shout as you start to scarper. The big fucking huge bear comes out, takes a swipe at him. His head is gone.
Cool.
And the bear is now on the loose. And you guys round the front can obviously hear the sound of commotion starting. You hear the gunshot from and shooting the lock out.
Did we decide to move in that moment when I was away in response to the whistle, Jonny, or did we stay put?
So this is still TBC. I was saying to Jack that I thought maybe we would wait until more commotion occurred and there was more distraction, because they basically, as far as they're concerned, this is routine delivery.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think that anything's wrong, so we're basically waiting until the distraction is a distraction.
I'd only say otherwise if it was really easy to sneak up in the kind of darkness all the way into the camp to get to the gate. But if there's people there, then that's not going to happen.
It's like sunrise now, isn't it? So
it's just on the point of sunrise, so it's still quite dark. Yes, long shadows.
Yeah, still, there is some darkness still. It's as the sun's rising, so it's it's not.
Is it a risk to sneak up to the gate, or is it pretty easy?
It's still going to be a risk.
Okay, I'll go with that.
It's not like all the guards have gone, oh, something happened over there. Let's all go over. It's they've still got prisoners.
Soon the screams will start.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go with Berthold and wait for the screams.
Yeah, I mean, the bear jumps out of the carriage, and because you were still in between the carriages, the fern, it sort of turns. It takes a swipe towards you, as soon as you didn't quite get out of the way.
Classic. Let's see how badly I lose my head.
Let's see. So that's 4 damage.
Which I soak 1. So 3 grit damage. Fine with that.
But then it gets quickly distracted by the fact that some crossbow bolts end up getting shot into it. As there is some shouts of, oh my god, the bear's got out! What's going on? This isn't what I ordered.
Does that start to have a reaction on the wall?
I think, people on top of the wall and everything start looking back.
Okay. As soon as they start to be like going, hey, what's that? I think we start moving, because we're not going to have all the time.
I think even some of the guys working the fields have stopped their work, and this isn't a normal day. Cool. So you were basically both bolting it towards the gate or the fence to run and jump over, essentially.
Stealthily, yeah.
Cool. Should we go for a dex roll for both of you?
Mm-hmm. I passed that with a 3.
Nice.
I also passed that with a 3.
How about that?
Nice. Yeah, you both get to the fence, clamber up, and there's no shouts of, hey, who's that climbing over the fence? And make it into the field with, doesn't look like anyone's noticed you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Defern, you are now, I'm guessing, clambered up to the top of the train?
Well, I don't know. I think maybe I won't now, because what have I been seen by no one's been in a position to have been seen.
Potentially been noticed that the bear was getting in between the things to attack something.
That's fine. I think if I'm on the other side of the train to the bear and the bear isn't coming for me, I'd like to double back round the train, come behind the train and get close to the building, and I assume the entrance to the camp, so that I can kind of follow its trail of carnage and destruction into whatever happens, or at least observe from a position of being near the gates.
Okay. Yeah, so you coming down the back of the train. And...
Yeah. Kind of hopefully hidden from the camp.
Yeah. Well, I figured the train went sort of nose in, so you'd probably get close to the wall going front ways. That makes sense, sort of towards the engine, and then you'd be.
Yeah. But hiding, like, well, I'm assuming. Well, in my mind, the train blocks my view from the camp, or maybe not.
No, it sort of sits. Is how I anyway. It's perpendicular to the wall.
That's fine. Okay, in that case, I might just go through the train, like
Yeah.
That would work.
Yeah. Come out near the front and then.
Yeah.
Be nearer the wall.
Something like that.
Yeah.
If anyone's, hopefully no one's poking their head in.
There's a big big.
There's a big old bear. That's my thoughts.
Yeah. I think you manage to do that. And if you sort of, I've already said there's many windows on this train. So, yeah, I think you're good to do that. The people that came to unload the train are definitely distracted by this bear wreaking havoc. And you make it to the front of the train, scamper around. I'd say you potentially can get up to the gate. There is a few people near the gate shooting, so if you went to go there, they would spot you.
But do I look so different from? Maybe I do. Well, I'm gonna kind of like look like a refugee from the train, stumbling kind of like away from the bear towards the thing. Hopefully, I can do it. I could be one of the people who work on the train. That's my view.
Presumably, have some blood on you as well from the bear grazing you, at least, or
certainly that's true. Yeah. I'm gonna ham that up a bit. There we go.
Okay, do a heart roll for us, seeing as that's
I can do a heart roll.
Intimidating, charming.
I do pass the heart roll with a 4 under 10.
The guys on the gate are like, see you looking battered and like, what's going on? Who let the bear out?
Where's the dog? I gotta say, like, grabbing my arm. Where's the dog?
Back through there, third building on the left.
I kind of say that, push my way through. How do I know? How am I supposed to know who let the bear out? Like, what am I, the bear expert? Anyway, don't say any of that.
Thinking like it doesn't really matter at this point. The bear's out.
Yeah. So I'm in past the gates, and I guess my instincts will be to count like the number of guards that I can see, and also try and work out where like prisoners are being kept, especially gunslinger like prisoners. That's the kind of would be the ones I'm looking to get to. And I think as well I might like have tried to like maybe like put my bag over my gun so that like my gun isn't very obvious and visible, because that's a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you sort of see what Elle saw from the vantage point of the treetops. It is, well, you picture a town in a western with a main street going down and the buildings on either side. It looks very similar to that.
Is there a house that has like bars on the windows that might be like a jailhouse?
You do see the one with 2 stories. There is windows with barred windows on the sort of bottom floor of that, and it says Governor's Office on a sign outside. Well, on it.
I'll wander over in that general direction. I mean, mostly I can enjoy the show as well. I don't know how adept these guys are at dealing with a robotic bear, but maybe.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a robotic bear, so you can only be so adept, I think, at dealing with it. And people are starting, more guards have sort of gone that way to try and help deal with the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not necessarily paying too much attention to the guy that looks like he's been injured by it and is heading towards to get help.
Yeah, cool.
So.
Well, I'm going to head towards the governor's office. I haven't seen any sign of Berthold and Elle, right?
Well, let's go to those now and see whether they got in successfully or not.
I think now might be under the breath, mutter to Berthold. Do we have a plan for the bigger gate?
That gate is open.
Oh, never mind. It's open.
Yeah, you missed that, Sam. Sorry. Yeah, the gate is open.
Are
To
there
let the
guards at
workers
it?
out, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense. Are there guards at it now, or have they moved?
There is a couple of guards still watching, semi-distracted, sort of looking through to see if they can see what's going on, but also keeping half an eye on the prisoners.
Pause for a sec and look at Bertold, see if any ideas come to mind. I wasn't quite ready to shoot him just yet.
Have we heard any gunshots from the people dealing with the bear, or do we think they may be gunless?
You've not heard any gunshots from them.
Well, we could always just keep it simple and walk right up. I know they'll stop us, but
You are both carrying sort of long arms. One's got a rifle, one's got
I'm
a
not
repeater.
talking about stealthing, and I basically mean intimidating my way. Obviously, that means we're raising attention, but no other ideas have come to mind yet.
You can give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you'd like to do?
My only other idea is we try and start a prison break with this lot.
Well, I was wondering about. Yeah.
Might take longer than I'd like. That bear won't last that long. Are they? What do we see these people who are farming like? Are they chained up? Are they like obviously unarmed, or
They're only armed with basic farming, the tools they would need to farm: hoes, pitchforks, spades, that general sort of thing. The guards are obviously watching them, so they're not necessarily there out of their own free will.
Yeah,
but they're not, they're not in a chain gang.
Yeah. I look at Bertold, look at the nearest gate, and go like, maybe we bust that one open. Yell, prison break. This lot try and run. We get out well.
More yeah. Yep. Sold.
I mean, there isn't a gate on the fence on the outside.
There's literally no way out of it at all. No.
Yeah.
Nah, hell, we're just going to shoot our way in, aren't we?
I mean, yeah, you shoot the intimidation might work if you want to try that.
Yeah, but they've seen us at that point anyway.
Yeah, but then if they're not intimidated, we can shoot them.
Simple. Let's go for it.
There's a plan A and a plan B there. That's how many more plans do you need than two?
Just walk in. See if they even try and stop us, I suppose.
Okay, yeah, you were I'm presuming you were sort of hiding in some of the crops that are a bit longer. And,
yeah.
Rather than stand there openly discussing, should we shoot these guys? Or
yeah. Although I would like to make sure we step out in such a way that they don't see us step out of the bush as far as they're aware. We've just walked calmly up the street. That's kind of the impression I would like to give.
Okay. You calmly approach them. They seeing your guns, they raise their crossbows. And essentially give a stop right there. Who are you?
I don't know about you, Bertold. I'll look to Bertold and just shake my head slightly and just not stop, not say anything. Just rest my hand on my gun and keep walking towards him.
Yeah,
okay.
I was thinking of giving a sort of like disparaging sort of like when they ask who we are, like a what?
Yeah, my shake of head's like, and we'll just keep walking.
It's not like the old days. They wouldn't have to ask.
Exactly.
What roll do you want, Jack?
A heart roll from one of you to see how intimidate.
One of you. What's your heart at, Johnny?
Probably less than yours. Not so
Mine's
meta
11.
game, but yep.
I'll roll heart then. Oh, I got on my heart 11. That's success, right? I think that is.
Equal to or under, you succeed.
Yes.
I think, yeah, you guys walking up with these,
I'm not doing that sort of threat. It's like my gun's not out. I'm just got my hand on it. I don't know if kind of the implication that we might not be here for harm, but you just don't want to fuck with us. That's the sort of what I'm trying to give across.
The Defern way.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
We're not here to kill you all. Just don't stop us or we will kill you.
I think one of the guards just sort of looks at you both, looks at his mate and puts his hand on his mate's crossbow, and puts it down. Like, something's obviously going on, and maybe these guys aren't that willing to die for this. I think as you casually saunter or intimidatingly saunter through this gate, you see Defern walking up the main street as well.
Can I just, while we're passing these two guys, just go, I recommend you run, and then keep walking without saying anything else to them?
It's good advice given the bear.
Just don't run that way.
I think that was implied.
Cool. Yeah, so you see Defern. You're all back together.
Yeah, wander
Well,
along the main
I think
street.
I'm going to keep going towards this barred building, but you can go anywhere you like.
Follow you, I guess.
Yeah.
I think if they're not keeping the gunslingers in there, then whoever is in there will have some answers.
Sounds good. This lot aren't too keen on fighting us, so.
Well, not yet, but they could change their mind at any minute.
I think a lot of them, it's a job.
Let's hope.
Is there anyone going in this building, Jack?
Yeah, what's going on with this building, Jack?
So the 2-story building made out of wood. You see the wooden or the bars on the windows downstairs. The door is currently shut. Are you entering? There's no guards outside, and you can't see through any windows on the downstairs are part of it.
Well, then, is there a front door or a side door? Or
Yeah, it's like some steps up to a front door. Are you trying it?
I think I must.
Yeah, it opens, as doors like to do.
With my hand near my holster, I'll go inside, yeah.
Yeah, your eyes take a second to adjust. It's slightly darker inside, but you see a desk on one side. On the other side, you see almost like a drunk tank setup of a sort of larger cage. And then you see some steel doors, not too dissimilar to the one the bear was in, that look like, it'd almost be like solitary confinement doors with keypads to open them. They're all shut. And then on the far side of the room, you see stairs leading upstairs.
Have a quick glance at the desk. If there's no one here, I'm curious to find out if there's any information to be gained. Briefly.
Yeah, you see various sort of papers about guard rotas. You see sort of notes when people have been in solitary confinement. And you notice that it seems that only cells 1 and 3 tend to get occupied, with 2 being mainly left alone.
They don't have any handy key codes to cells on them, do they?
No, there's not a post-it with the codes written down anywhere.
It's cell 2 for the bear. Is that?
It doesn't look big enough for the bear.
Do you... This place is like they were bringing a load of prisoners on the train, but there's only 3 cells here, so this is for something different. It's kind of the impression I'm getting. I don't know if the documents indicate that at all, but
you see notes while the reason people were potentially put into these cells is fighting,
Okay, so it's more like the guards have been unruly; they end up in the cells.
Or the people in the camp as well.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Are there anyone in the cells now? We can't see because it's still dawn.
It's got like the sliding
Right, yeah.
doors, and yeah, you can look through, and
I'll go check cell 1.
you look through, and they're basically sort of steel rooms with a bucket in the corner and a bench to sit on. That probably smells pretty foul.
Could be a worse place to stay.
Give him a funny look.
But there's no one in those cells now.
No one currently in their cells now.
It's all quiet here.
As you look, you hear a floorboard creak upstairs.
Is there a way of securing this building, such as like a can you slide a bar in front of the door or something? Or
Yeah, I'd say there's probably a bar that you could be slid in front of the door, like a heavy wooden beam can come down.
Defern will happily do that. Some privacy.
That floorboard creak, was it someone stomping around upstairs, or was it?
It's not like a stomp. It's like a creak of maybe someone shifting their weight or something like that. It's not like a stompy sound. It's
Okay, that gets me drawing my gut.
Yeah, let's like I'm happy to kind of like indicate that we should go upstairs. I'm happy to go first.
Yeah, cautiously.
Me first, yes, right. I'm gonna have my gun out. I've reloaded it, but I've been keeping track of how many bullets I've got. So I've got my extra 4 bullets from before, all the same, or 3 bullets, I guess now. But otherwise I'll go first up the stairs.
Okay,
Not particularly. Yeah. I'm not going particularly.
You're not trying
quietly. No, I'm going to go just up the stairs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But with my gun drawn.
But yeah, you're going out at the ready. You walk up the stairs and you see. You end up in an office space, and sort of behind a large desk is a large man in a sort of white suit. He sees Alan's head pop up first, and he says, "Who are you? What's going on out there?"
My name is Alan, and I'm here because you have been looking for gunslingers. I'm clearly a gunslinger as well. So I mean, I've got a gun.
Are you all up the stairs now?
Yep.
I was thinking I would stay at the bottom of the stairs.
I think that's a smart idea.
With my rifle drawn and ready.
I'll head up.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, not me personally looking for the gunslingers.
No, that would be your associate.
Yes. They just, they come here sometimes. They pass through. Obviously.
But they've moved on.
That's one way of Who are you and how did you get in here?
As I said, my name is Alan. I am a gunslinger. And I'm here looking for any gunslingers that you have been holding.
Well, they're not here anymore.
What did you mean, associates have moved on in a manner of speaking? I'll casually toy with my gun while I say that.
Look, they bring them here, they take them somewhere else.
Where?
If I tell you that, then I'm dead.
How do they get there?
It's better for everyone if you just leave the way you came and we can forget all this happened.
I am going to point the gun at him and ask the question again.
Look, there's no need to be hasty, violent. What do you want other than I can give you anything within reason?
Other than the information I just asked for?
I think what we want. I look at ours and kind of like, is this what we want? Well, I think what we want is to burn these buildings to the ground, to set free anyone who's currently imprisoned here, to kill any guards who won't leave peacefully, and then to deal with the bear if it's still alive.
Ella's smiling now.
Look, you burn this place to the ground. There is nothing for miles around. This is what
That will be unfortunate for you. There is a train which is guarded, which could be your way out of here. Or you could walk. If we can't catch the bear, that will be more difficult.
If I just leave, they'll find me. Then I'm dead.
Well, then I suppose we can only wish you the best of luck with that, then.
Or I could speed up the process if you'd rather.
But you're going to have to hit me or something. I can't willingly give this information up.
Well.
I'll get out my saber with a really wicked grin on my face. The saber that's covered in blood. And my bloodthirsty vice shows at this moment as I walk slowly towards him, thoroughly ready to hurt him.
Look, not too far. Look,
I can ask
if you
again
want,
if you like.
I could break your arm. I kind of like flexing them. Kind of like
this is like the
his brawny muscles. We could do it that way if you like.
He sort of grimaces and goes, "Yeah, that might be enough to."
Maybe next time, El. Unless you want to break his arm.
Like Elle, by the way, just to reiterate, she's hideously scarred. She has one eye, a matted face, a matted hair, bony face. She's a terrifying human being to be around.
Yeah, whereas like El Luchador, like this Mount Matador over here with his fucking flowing hair and delicate face.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good cop, bad cop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I can try and break this guy's arm. I'm happy to make a brawn roll. I can try and make it pretty quick.
I don't think you necessarily roll for it. It's not like
no. Jack, a brilliant roll here would be a fail is just much worse injury.
Yeah,
success is
okay.
I can try and do it pretty clean, but if I fail, it might be complicated.
Yeah,
like
arm is ripped
bone
off.
coming out.
That's how I would. That's what that roll's got to be.
Like, give it a go.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. I rolled an 8, and I just rolled under 13. So yeah, that's a pass.
Yeah. Okay, it's probably a nice clean break.
That should heal fine if you put it in a splint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's like happy after that happens. Like, well, no, that's great. The floppy arm, like flopping around everywhere.
He's just like, ooh.
He tells you, go to the door number 2 on the solitary cells, 5275. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to... Yeah.
I will bring the saber right up to his neck and say, we're going to deal with these people. If you ever touch any gunslingers again, I will personally come for you and chop you into tiny, tiny pieces very, very slowly. Okay?
Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
It should also be known that Sykes has broken his oath, and because of that has forfeited all rights to be treated equally amongst his brother's gunslingers.
Look, that's between you and him,
But if he asks, or if you do get a chance to talk to any of your old associates,
I'll pass the message along.
Is there anything
Yeah, I think we should still
valuable-looking-
rifle through his desk.
I was going to say, if there's anything
Yeah,
valuable
like-
in this room, I'm taking it.
Yeah, we're gonna burn it all down anyway. Like,
Nothing much more of note other than you get similar notes of people that are been in cells 1 and 3, but with his notes, you've got information on cell 2.
Mm-hmm.
Looking through the names, you recognise some of them as people, gunslingers that you have travelled with in the past as being taken into cell 2.
or I'm gonna pass the gun. I don't know if Berthold would have heard the conversation from where he is.
I think he definitely had a loud crack as
Yeah.
on
Then
when
I'm gonna disappear for a second to go tell Berthold what the code is for the cell, and yeah, 5275, and then I'll go back to ransacking, and then getting ready to start burning things.
Yeah, well, Bertold, you open the door, and as you open the door, the
A
floor
bear comes out of you.
the floor slides open, revealing a deep staircase heading downwards. You hear, and then as the floor slides, the lights flicker with an electric hum down there, and you see a sort of corridor lined with metal walls. That then goes off for a bit. You guys going down, or are you burning the place down, or there's nothing more in there other than the paperwork? There's nothing of note.
I think like part of me feels that we have some responsibility to deal with whatever that's going on in this town, and I think that means like freeing prisoners and stuff like that.
Part of me also worries about going down this tunnel when they're all at our backs. But
I think we need to kind of like deal with this problem first.
But if we don't head down here, who knows what might come out looking for us. This is clearly the pressing issue. We could always come back and end this place. It's not putting up much of a fight. Who knows? They might go. Who knows? They might be gone before we even get back out.
Well, you have my vote, which is to finish off the camp first. But there are 3 of us, and we have always decided these things when Sykes hasn't been here in that way.
I'm more worried about the ones who are hunting us than this camp. I say we go down first. Deal with this camp later.
I don't have any strong opinions either way.
I take a quick look back, look down the corridor, and then sort of re-lift my rifle and start walking down the steps.
Cool. I'll go second.
Can we shut it behind us, Jack?
Yeah, you can shut the door behind you, and obviously as you shut it, you do see there's a button on the inside for you to be able to open it.
Obviously, I know they have the code, but it makes it a bit less likely.
Well, the keypad's on the outside as well, so it'd be hard.
Yeah, but
It would be hard to. Okay.
Yeah.
Down we go.
You walk down the corridor. Lighting's dim. Some of the sort of industrial-looking lights on the wall have gone, and they all have a faint sort of buzz to them. It's looking sort of tired down here. You sort of see in the cracks in the steel wall, plates on the wall, foliage and grass sort of growing through. And as you sort of follow the corridor around, in front of you is a wooden door, seemingly standing, not on a wall, freestanding. looking ripe to be opened. I will, I think, end it there for this week.
Nice.
Nice.
This system does a good job making you feel badass, doesn't it?
It's cool. It's cool.
Push you
It's
in
cool.
the seat. It's nice.
Just for the record, the decision on whether to deal with the town or come down here first
Was a dice roll, wasn't it?
it was because my virtue is honorable, but my vice is aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, do I want to help these people or do I want to go shoot the people who are trying to get me, basically?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a funny one with tolerant and bloodthirsty, which kind of felt a bit similar. But then I was like, right now I feel like I'm more mad than I am really caring about these. These are just neutral. So, but it's tricky. The roleplay things are interesting with your virtue and vice. What's your virtue and vice, Justin?
I am vain and dangerous.
Mm.
I don't know. And gregarious is my virtue, so I like people. But I guess my vice is either dangerous or vain. I'm not sure which. Both seem bad.
Yeah.
I think it's dangerous your reputation.
Oh yeah, it might be. Yeah, that might be my reputation.
Yeah.
But then it's interesting comparing it to the language of the book and the language of the Dark Tower series, because Deta's described as dangerous because she's like a dangerous animal, like almost. I think that's kind of what it's getting at more. Is like it's just like that they like can and will fight like viciously.
Tooth and nail, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean you're gunslinger, so the idea is
you're all dangerous.
All dangerous.
Yeah,
it's like okay, but out of all of them,
yeah,
this guy, when it comes down to it, will really you don't want to mess with
it's
him.
interesting. Yeah, I've also got past the bear in the Dark Tower series now. So I was like, oh, but I like it. I was interesting, Jack, that you decided to go with it. Like, how conscious were you to draw upon the motif of the train, which is a big part of the Dark Tower series, in putting a train in the.
Well, it's funny that you sort of started singing Folsom Prison Blues, because that's what got it came on when I my Spotify. Like, okay, yeah, I could do something with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, with a prison sort of and a train, and then sort of doing.
And to be honest, all the elements of the story are strong motifs in the Dark Tower series: prisoners, trains, bears with radar dishes on their head.
Yeah, well, was it good artists borrow, great artists steal? So
it's been really good. I've really enjoyed that session. That was a lot of fun.
Have we got anything from the comments, Jonny?
Yes. Steve, don't poke the bear. Followed by 4242. What kind of self-respecting RPG player doesn't poke the bear?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still amazed I didn't poke the bear when we first saw it in the train, to be honest.
Yeah. And another good one from Steve when we were planning on heading up. The shooting will continue until intimidation improves.
They were all Well, I did like the backup plan of we'll try and intimidate these guys, and if not, we'll shoot.
Just shoot. Yeah, it worked well.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, so things next week, Monday, we'll be back with Warhammer, as far as I'm aware, Sam. And then the week after...
I don't want to mix that one up.
The week after, we'll be back to We Deal in Lead. This Thursday, the final live Wicked Ones session. And Wednesdays are Simba Room. For everything else, join us on our Discord or social media, which are linked below, and have a good time until we see you again. We don't see you. You see us. You know what I mean. Cool. Bye-bye, everybody.